we started using most of our elders for holding them for the society responsibility. Okay, whether the grandchildren with, the grandson and grandchildren, they started once again be part of a society. They are, it's a rough word, but to let me use that, they become an utility for the society. So spirituality is not something one at the age of 59th and 12th month or 11th month, 30th day, you just say, tomorrow I'm retired, I want to become spiritual. It doesn't happen. Part of life. Vanaprastha was a thing where people live. So Swamiji says Vanaprastha, when we start creating in Varanasi, which is going to be the place for graceful exit, that's a place where this kind of an elderly people, or we have to create an environment medically beautifully aligned, spiritual healing way, and make the crowd for a graceful exit. That's what I just, this giving me an internal belief that it is possible, because I'm just experientially seeing that. So mechanically making my mother, giving medication, all we do, but internal space wise, I can just uplift somebody and I can hold the space for them for the graceful exit. I was doing that with the pressure, but now beautifully with Swamiji's Vadavarana, I can do it me. We have to create a space for Vanaprastha, and that's a way an enlightenment society can. Of course, Swamiji has done beautifully sannyasa orders. He has made a gurukul, and this Vanaprastha, if you could able to create it, it will be one of the real breakthrough for a Hindu community. The second thing I'm trying to take it from is a community living. What a job or responsibility for a grahastha, how they have to support a sannyasi community and gurukul community. It is the job of grahastha. So that has gone deep inside me, and I'm just getting an experience of getting trained from seniors people like you. I'm sure this all would be very handy in taking up something in the Abhimukta Kshetra. So this is the way I'm just seeing, and I don't know how to thank Swamiji, and I'm still thanking, and it's a continuous process. With all gratitude, once again, I'm surrendering all this happiness, all the moods to this lotus feet of Bhagavan.
So beautiful, Aya. Thank you so much for your very in-depth, candid sharing. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of people out there watching are resonating with what you're saying, but I'm sure we never ever thought about it in this angle, because it's not something that we could have conceived as an imagination. Like exactly like you said, it is the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam's absolute grace and compassion, that the experience is just like that made to happen. And that experience goes so deep, touches so deep, that it just awakens more and more layers of the superconscious breakthrough. Exactly like you said, the attitude. Before you may have taken up the Vanaprastha sannyas as probably a deep desire or a responsibility, but making it happen where it is just so natural and you enjoy it so much, and it is like one more offering of gratitude at the feet of Bhagavan, only he can do. It's so wonderful what you just shared. I'm sure all our viewers really got a taste of what the COVID care protection centers, which Bhagavan has graced the whole of India with by opening all the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa in India. I'm sure everybody literally lived through in the last over half an hour from the sharings of Avimukaya and Agniaya. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, and we're ready to move on to the next segment, where on the one hand, we just heard so much filled to the brim about gratitude of the devotees, disciples, on what Bhagavan has done for them, the immense compassion just showered on every single being and their family, and in return, what the world has given back to Bhagavan. Let us wait and see in the upcoming segment. Thank you, Nithyanandam.
Thank you, Ma, Nithyanandam.
we get you health, we get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life, we get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers who are joining us for this Devi Parashakti Akashic reading program. In the previous segment, we had just been able to have a one-on-one discussion, conversation with the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham administrators and the people, the residents of the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham during this Kailasa COVID care multi-layer quarantine that is being offered from the Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham. And it was such a beautiful interview and beautiful sharings from two of the residents of Adi Kailasa Sarvajnapeetham who are sharing how much of benefit they feel, how much of relief and peace they feel, entirely protected by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, while so much is going on in India. Now, I know that each and every one of us are eagerly awaiting the divine darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at 9 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. I'm sure that each and every one of you is literally waiting with your heart pacing and waiting, sitting straight and listening eagerly to as we are coming closer to the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, we'd like to take a few minutes during today's program and continuing on the series that we have been presenting on the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This month in July, we are observing the Hindu Persecution Awareness Month, and it being the month of Guru Purnima festival as well, each and every one of us is also remembering the value, the immense impact, influence, and transformation that Guru brings into our life. And we're seeing how every single day, how Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is continuously guiding us, protecting us. Just 2 weeks back, we had the the beautiful news that we heard that finally, after 2 decades of this ongoing persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had due to his hard work and insistence that the international audience see the truth about what is going on against Hindus worldwide. Finally, we have been able to see that the United Nations has recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So let us now begin this next segment on on understanding the Hindu Holocaust and the persecution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone. And for each and every one of you, I request your deep listening and a few minutes of your time also to share the link in the scroll below. This scroll has the link for where the United Nations, the Human Rights Commission of the United Nations, has listed Kailasa Union, has listed Adi Kailasa as one of the persecuted communities officially recognized, and also recognized for the denial of rights against women of Kailasa. So please do take a few minutes and share this with everyone that you know, not only with your family and friends, but also with people who may have a little bit more influence and a more understanding of this situation at hand, and who can bring the story, this untold story, history of the Hindu Holocaust to the whole world, and can bring make this platform a little bit more effective and recognized as the voice of Hinduism. With the contribution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has done for Hinduism being recognized by thousands of esteemed Hindu leaders, he is already recognized and revered as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and as well the last hope for Hinduism. So anything, the persecution done against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the persecution that has been ongoing against Hinduism itself. And as we see here, even though the world persecuted him, he only kept enriching. He only remained committed to his mission of bringing healing energy and superconscious energy to the entire world. These are a few of the articles that are done, that were published from the 24th of April, 2010. The next slide, please. We can go on to the next slide. So please take a few minutes and share the link for the UN report where the UN has recognized the persecution ongoing against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Also, in our Facebook page, in the official Facebook page of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is Kailasa's HDH JGM HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam on Facebook, you'll see the official pinned post is on this extremely amazing news, and we'll be able to see exactly this. Yes. Yes. Now, as we saw, participants of the even 21-day inner awakening program saw 1,300% increase in their energy levels, and this was recorded during the inner awakening program, which is a 21-day residential transformational spiritual program. And during this, we had seen how the during these programs, we had seen so many different participants share their powerful experiences of what happened during this program. So in the following video, I request the NTV to project the video that we just had. In this video, we'll be able to see some of the very profound sharings of some of the participants of the Inner Awakening program. And you'll be able to see for your own, in your front of your own eyes, how this has literally made a breakthrough happen. As you can see, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, through these programs where we experience the powerful cognitions from the sacred Hindu scriptures revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, it has brought breakthrough in the lives of so many millions of people, and even healed paralysis, even healed so many years of depression and anxiety. And as you saw in this video, it's even helped children transcend their autistic tendencies or autism itself. And through even Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for healing autism and so many other global initiatives that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has started, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has brought the Hindu scriptures, the Hindu solutions for extreme situations and extremely personal conflicts, such as even healing with your own body, to the whole world. The next slide. And we have another video, a testimony sharing by a participant from the Inner Awakening program. Moving on to the next slide. It seems we had an issue with the audio. If the volunteer can also share sound, I think that will solve the issue. Yes. Sorry for the technical glitch. We'll just be right back with you after a few minutes. As each and every one of you had seen, even though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had been persecuted in every single direction, whether it is more than 120 cases, false cases had baseless allegations and absolutely no evidence against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being filed against him, or over 70 assassination attempts against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Or if we are seeing the attacks against the property, the ancient heritage and the ancient kingdoms that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revived and protected, or if we're seeing the brutal attacks and assaults of the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In every single way, we have seen how there has been so much of absolutely incessant, relentless persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And yet, even today, even now, more than anything, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ensuring to protect the people and protect those who need it the most. Out of his utmost compassion, even in Adi Kailash, in the place where we are seeing so much going on with pandemics within pandemics and so much of corruption and not even having enough medical supplies, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is continuing to help the whole humanity and raise the whole humanity, protect humanity during these extremely dark times. Yes. So, as we were discussing, the participants of the 21-day Inner Awakening Retreat experienced 1,300% increase in mitochondrial cell energy levels. The next slide, please. And as you can see here, this is a graph of the healing recovery results during the 21-day Inner Awakening program. On the y-axis, we're seeing the percent of the participants who had significance of recoveries. So, and then we have a various list of different ailments that people were that were going under, including fatigue, depression, eating disorders, even arthritis and low energy, and panic attacks, anger and frustration. Here, even arthritis, osteoarthritis, even having low moods, asthma, even all of these were addressed, and we're seeing more than 50% recoveries in each and every one of these levels. And these are our daily conflicts that we're undergoing. Many of us are undergoing, and many of us are not able to find a breakthrough from, whether it is fatigue or depression or having an eating disorder or having arthritis or high blood pressure. Each and everything is something that we as individuals go through on a daily basis. Imagine if these problems that you're not able to find a breakthrough have a sudden breakthrough in your life, and your life is working in more than 50% more than your previous productivity. That is the kind of result that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, through these programs that revived the ancient Hindu teachings and were revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and were designed according to the ancient Hindu scriptures. That's the power that each and every one of these programs had in millions of people. The next slide, please. And in the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Guru, as we know, is the one who gives us so much and literally is worshipped even in a higher position than God himself. He is the ultimate healer. Here in the Sri Guru Gita, in verse 93, it says, I always bow down to Sri Guru, who is bliss, who exudes delight, and who is cheerful. His nature is knowledge and is aware of his own self. He is highest among the yogis and is adorable. He is a physician for disease of worldly existence. An amazing verse that Bhagavan Paramashiva had revealed to Devi Parashakti. And we're seeing, just like River Devi Ganga Mata, who fulfills all our needs from quenching the basic thirst to giving us ultimate liberation, the Guru, the incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, does not only heal us from our physical ailments and diseases, he enlightens us and cures us from the biggest disease of worldly existence and ignorance. The next slide, please. But though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had been healing so many millions of people, even from their deepest, most painful experiences, either in trauma or in the diseases that afflict them, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had undergone the worst persecution, whether it is character assassination, ideological terrorism, cyber terrorism, delegitimation of principles, lawfare and malicious prosecution, and mob lynching. This is the untold story of over 2 decades of organized systematic persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the scale at which these attacks have been made on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Hindu leaders across Hinduism has no parallel in human history. The next slide, please. If we see, first of all, the illegal arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, on the 21st of April, the anticipatory bail was denied. But what was the truth behind this? Police had lied that they had already arrested the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And a few hours later, at 2:30 p.m., a team of CID officials illegally arrested the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This happened on the 21st of April, 2010, as the whole world watched the devastation of the arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by state-sponsored elements and the anti-Hindu terrorists. And we saw a blatant crime being committed here, but we were entirely hopeless, entirely incapable of doing anything about it, because the media, the anti-Hindu terrorists and the nexus that they had formed against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was absolutely determined to ensure that they execute their plans, conspiracy, and strategy against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next slide, please. we have to ask some fundamental questions. Who was the victim in this entire propaganda against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism? Were attempts made to assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism? Yes, for 50 days from March 2nd to the 21st of April, serial attempts were made to assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And did police provide any protection? No. Did police arrest or put any militant assassins under trial? No. Did police accept complaints of the victims of the attack by militant assassins? No. What action did the police take? They arrested the victim, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And not only that, they subjected the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism against the media, who was outright demonizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. On the 21st of April in 2010, the police justified the illegal arrest of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by deceit, propaganda, and anti-Hindu laws. At the Chandigarh airport, upon instructions of the media, the police officers deliberately covered the face of the SPH, and the media used this footage to portray the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as a guilty terrorist. The propaganda was aimed to desensitize the Hindus of India and mob lynch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during transit. Again, was there a victim of the crimes that they alleged against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism? Absolutely not. And at that time, an acid attack was executed against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism while he was in police custody. A shoe containing an acid egg was thrown at the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and the assassin had aimed this on the face of the SPH, and it hit the SPH on his left thigh. This was done outside of the Bengaluru airport. The acid egg burst open. The video was shown on the news channel, including NDTV, as a subject to ridicule the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Again, the silent assassination attempts continued, with the injection of lethal poisons to cause cardiac arrest while the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was in custody. The next slide, please. The police forced conditions of starvation and terminal dehydration on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and he was the one who fed millions and was starved and dehydrated for 7 days and nights. The next slide, please. And can you imagine if the Pope, a religious leader of Catholicism, was starved for 7 days? The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has revived Hinduism from a grassroots level to span the whole planet with his revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, with his hard work and compassion, through his hundreds of spiritual embassies and thousands of individuals who established and were inspired by his teachings. The standing principle and rule number one of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from day one has been no hungry stomach. And everyone who walked in was given food for the last 22 years, continuously over his entire mission. The blatant lawfare had only handicapped his disciples from enabling even a small meal for their guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but it was a great risk for his welfare and health. False cases and illegal arrests were again pursued by the anti-Hindu militant terrorist forces in custody. Their attempts to assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had actually induced hypothermia, and they treated the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism worse than an animal. They made him sit on the cold floor and wetted by cold urine mixed with toilet water made to leak from the toilet. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was sleep deprived at night and made to undergo third-degree torture during the day. As an example, the Prime Minister of Israel from 1977 to 1983 described his experience of sleep deprivation as a prisoner of the NKVD in the Soviet Union as follows. In the head of prisoner, a haze begins to form. His spirit is weary to death. His legs are unsteady, and he has one sole desire, to sleep. Anyone who has experienced this desire knows not even hunger and thirst are comparable with it. Psychological warfare, sound torture by incessant cutting of tiles at night, and forced asphyxiation and induced mesothelioma, or cancer of internal organs, by forcing to breathe powdered asbestos dust. These are the different ways that the anti-Hindu militant forces had implemented third-degree torture on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, while they had kidnapped and placed him in illegal custody. Then the blatant blasphemy, force-fed beef to a pure vegetarian monk practicing non-violence as a spiritual vow. The one who initiated millions into vegetarianism as a spiritual lifestyle through Samaya Diksha was attempted to be force-fed to eat sacred mother cow as meat. The next slide, please. And multiple medical tests were illegally administered against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with no medical background, with no medical professionals even. And there was no legal order for these tests to be conducted. The injection of fatal long-term chemical poisons multiple times a day in the name of blood tests. The injection was of lethal poison to cause cardiac arrest. Now, if this was happening to you, what would you do if you went through this? The monasteries were made out of blood. His own blood sweat were destroyed. The assassin mobs were on a lookout to kill him. The entire country was programmed into confusion by the media to hate and ridicule. And if you had gone through starvation, dehydration, sleep deprivation, hypothermia, lethal injections, countless blood tests, excessive withdrawal of blood, and assassination attempts. The next slide, please. They not only had done this, but they tortured his body. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism still remained committed to his mission of healing. The induced cardiac arrest that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had led the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to need to go to the hospital in the middle of the illegal police custody. And he needed emergency medical treatment. But even then, the media took this as an opportunity to mock and ridicule the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. While on the outside, millions of us across the world, Kailasians, were heartbroken to see what was happening against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. all of us wondering what was going on to our beloved Guru. The next slide, please. He was forced to be starved, and he was forced into starvation and terminal dehydration, subject to psychological warfare, tortured, and he was forced to even eat beef, even though he did not eat anything for the 8 days that he was in the illegal custody. And on the contrast, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism provides 10,000 vegetarian organic meals a day, always gracing humanity with compassion and enriching. The next slide, please. And not only this, we saw how they had continuously been injecting lethal poison in the name of a blood test to cause cardiac arrest to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next slide, please. Multiple times in 2010, blood was taken by the state medical team involving injection of unknown chemicals to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which had actually caused a fatal cardiac symptoms in him. And here we see a example where they had what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where they had literally injected and induced a cardiac arrest and caused chest pain. And the New Indian Express has published this article about how this blood test had caused the cardiac arrest and cardiac trauma. The next slide, please. On the 27th of April, the New Indian Express again posted how lethal injections were subject on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on Monday morning, 26th of April 2010. And then the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was taken to court immediately after the test, and then he was taken to the hospital. When it was reported in the media, it was said that it was lied and falsely told that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had underwent a potency test under police custody and had undergone this attack. And it also had said that all security arrangements were ordered by the Ramanagara Deputy SP were in place, but the CID wanted to conduct the test under police custody and not in the hospital. It was such a blatant crime against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism here. And this is the morning of the 27th of April at Jayadeva Hospital. And this is taken from the report by DNA. The next slide, please. We can see the picture of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism clearly not able to stand up, even being brought out in a wheelchair from the hospital after being admitted after symptoms of cardiac arrest were induced with lethal injections given in the name of blood tests. And on the right, we're seeing news clips in the media, the same article showing the police making a blatant, inhuman mockery of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, claiming they were stressed out after torturing and attempting to assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Understand, would the police in your country torture somebody and then ridicule that person in the media? How does it make you feel to see Swamiji on a wheelchair? For millions of us across the world, including myself, to see these images was absolute devastation. And to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, whom for years and until now, seeing him, worshipping him as my guru and God, it brings so much of heartbreak to see him absolutely alone, defenseless, while he is the incarnation of Paramashivoham himself. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was hospitalized after cardiac trauma caused by lethal chemical injection. And yet the media was falsely publicizing lies and mockery against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, trying to say that he was complaining of chest pain. Is it a complaint when what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had gone through was a literal heart attack? We even had later on the devotees who had immediately rushed to the hospital. First of all, they did not even know when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was rushed to the hospital. They only saw, only in the media, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was in the hospital. They immediately rushed to the hospital and were shocked to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being subject to so many different tests, even in the hospital, not even being given a proper hospital room. And he was not even able to ask for himself for the proper medical treatment for the induced heart attack that the anti-Hindu militant terrorists had put him through. The next slide, please. Again, here we see what the media had said against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. They're trying to say controversial self-styled God-man arrested on rape and other charges was admitted to hospital here tonight, and he complained of severe chest pain. The next slide, please. But what we know is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had said on April 30th of 2010, they quoted the words from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism saying, "I am a Swami. If I die, please don't subject my body to a post-mortem, because I'm a spiritual leader who will do good for the public. I would rather prefer to get buried than to go under the knife." Swami Nithyananda holds CID slows while being taken to Jayadeva Hospital after he complained of chest pain on Monday. On the way to the hospital, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had asked the CID Superintendent of Police, Yogappa, what would happen if he died. And Yogappa replied that in that case, his body would be sent to post-mortem, adding for good measure that he, Yogappa, would be arrested following Swami's custodial death. And that was Nithyananda made the remark about the knife. In this article, you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism pleading with the man who had induced the attack against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that his body be protected, to follow the Hindu rites and to follow the Hindu ritual of how the Swami and sannyasis should be done, how they should be treated even after death. At this moment, as he was being rushed to the hospital and undergoing severe chest pain, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, had no option, was only thinking of what's going to happen if he dies, if he needs to leave the body. The next slide, please. In this condition, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was made to run on the treadmill. And just a brief timeline of events. On the 21st of April, from Tolan, Himachal Pradesh, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was arrested. And until the 25th of April, he was under illegal custody. 4 days, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was forcibly interrogated, tortured, and was ridiculed in the media. On the 26th of April evening, seeing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism suffering and undergoing cardiac trauma, the judge ordered medical attention, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was admitted to Jayadeva Hospital on the 27th of April 2010 morning, as shown in the picture alongside here. As you can see, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was made to run on a treadmill in this condition. On the 27th of April 2010 at 3:30 p.m., again, the CID restart their grilling. Was the admission to the hospital itself one more assassination attempt? What were they trying to do here? Even the police and media say he is cooperative. So why again and again did they start interrogating? On the 26th of April, the lethal injection was carried out. On the 26th of April, again, seeing the suffering, the judge ordered medical attention. And on the 27th of April, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was discharged from the Jayadeva Hospital. Again, on the 27th of April, 3:30, the CID restarted their assassination attempt against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And even the High Court is asking, how long will you torture? In 2010, as the days progressed slowly and tortuously, one of the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who was a doctor, was able to get the permission of the government to see and visit the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This disciple recollects the trauma. I saw Swamiji in a dark cellar, and I have never seen Swamiji like this. Swamiji was struggling to open his eyes and struggling to even stand up. I didn't know what was happening. Swamiji somehow rested his hands on the wall and got up and was continuously blinking his eyes. He looked as if he was searching something, and I tried helping Swamiji. The next slide, please. The police again and again suppressed their crimes. How much the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was tortured under the hands of the anti-Hindu militant terrorists. On one hand, what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was saying during the interrogation and how that was projected in the media was colluded between the police and the media and not shown to the world in the right light. The actual statement of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was his body is not capable of indulging in any sexual act, and he can prove this through a medical potency test. But what the media headlines said was, I am not a man. The next slide, please. in the denial. The police lied shamelessly, saying no medical tests were done on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in 2010. From 2012 to 2014, the state police and media mafia both openly lied and stated that in 2010, during the arrest, no medical examination was done on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which was absolutely not true. In the SC 86 in 2014, the High Court observed that medical tests were done on the first day of arrest itself and even mentioned the page numbers of where the tests were attached in the charge sheet of the document. The CID did the medical test, which caused the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism acute trauma more than once, and they very well knew that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was impotent. And can the state police in any country lie so that shamelessly in the court to do such a thing, and that also multiple times? Is this justified? Is this in any way okay? Please continue. Again, if we see on Monday morning, on the 26th of April, a lethal injection was subject onto the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was taken to court immediately after the test. And then, because the court had ordered and seen and witnessed the state of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who was complaining of chest pain, the court ordered that he be taken to the hospital immediately. The next slide, please. As if the court's injustice meant nothing, police and media shamelessly lied in public, saying no medical tests were done on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in 2010. The High Court not only observed that the medical tests were done in 2010, it is also mentioned the page numbers where medical tests were attached in the charge sheet in the order. The next slide, please. Now we have to ask ourselves, the anti-Hindu forces made an offer to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism that they would stop the persecution, but he would have to comply to what they said. Why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism never allowed the anti-Hindu forces to have their way in destroying Hinduism? Yes, let us now watch this brief video on the attacks done against Hindu leaders.
In the past 30 years, nearly 90% of all prominent Hindu gurus have been labeled with fake sex allegations. There are more than 75 leaders whose names come up on a simple Google search. It is obviously a planned attack. Hindus need to speak up and take seriously the need to restore authentic Hindu practices and ensure something other than stress, addiction, and social disharmony is available for our grandchildren.
The next slide. Now, let us understand the cultural genocide and the history of murder of Hindu gurus. On the 23rd of December 1926, 70-year-old Swami Shraddhanand was assassinated by a mob lyncher. On the 17th of November 1966, 5,000 Hindu sadhus were killed, but the reports had showed that only 375 were killed. On 15th of February in 1973, on the contrary, the government falsely accused and arrested the leader of Ananda Marg, M.P.R. Sarkar, and he was poisoned in prison, allegedly by the jail doctor. After recovering, he went on fast seeking justice. He fasted for the next 5 years, 4 months, and 2 days. And on the 2nd August 1978, when he was released from jail after having been acquitted of all charges. On the 30th of April in 1982, 16 males and 1 female Hindu sannyasi of Anandamarg were pulled out of a cab and burned alive near a bridge in broad daylight. More than rupees 30 crore were spent by government on various court trials and tribunals, and the result was absolutely no justice. On the 23rd of August in 2008, Swami Lakshmananda Saraswati and 4 other disciples were murdered in the state of Odisha in India. Swami Lakshmananda was a Hindu monk and highly revered spiritual leader who lived life dedicated to service and to the welfare of the forest dwellers of Kerala. The next slide, please. And here we're seeing the brutal crimes done against the Hindu gurus from November 7th of 1986. 5,000 Hindu sadhus who were killed in police action. And from 1982, 16 males and 1 female Hindu sannyasi of Anandamarg pulled out and burned alive on a bridge in broad daylight. The next slide, please. Here is a picture of Swami Lakshmananda Saraswati and 4 of his disciples who were murdered in the state of Odisha in India. And he was a highly revered spiritual leader who lived a life dedicated to the welfare of forest dwellers, the Vanivasis of Kandamal. Swami Premananda in 2011 was killed in Kudalur Central Prison, and he has been imprisoned on false charges of rape. And on the 1st of September 2013, Asaram Bapu was arrested on false charges. On 10th August in 2014, in the 21st century, Pakistan and Afghanistan have less than 1% of Hindu population. And once they were entirely Hindu populated nation, Hinduism survived in India because of the tyaga of Naga sadhus and protected Hindus and temples during the invasion, like in Vrindavan and Kashi, by sacrificing their lives. Today, the Naga sadhus are beaten and killed on the way to the very same street. From the 19th of November 2014, police killed 6 disciples of Saint Rampal and arrested Saint Rampal and sentenced him to life imprisonment. This is Sri Ragareshwara Bharati, one of the Hindus who had worked for the revival of Hinduism, who was framed on false case of rape in 2014. The Mutt denied all accusations from the start, and on March 31st, 2016, the court dismissed rape charges against the seer. The next slide, please. And again, the cultural genocide continued, with Swami Avimukhteshwarananda in the September of 2015. And in 2016, Hindu priest who was beheaded in the Panchgarh district in Bangladesh. In 2017, 30 disciples of Ram Rahim were killed by the state police. In 2018, Palhari Baba jail term was till death on false allegations of rape, and he was a great yogi who lived on fruits, and hence his name was Palhari. And Swami Tattva Bodhananda a disciple of Swami Dayananda Saraswati, a yoga guru and guru, Vedanta Adhikari, has brutally been sickled to death by mob lynchers in Puducherry. This is the death of the Hindu priest who was beheaded by Islamic State in Panchgarh district in Bangladesh. The next slide, please. The next slide, please. Let us now understand this video on the cultural genocide on Hindu Hindus.
It is recorded in Vedic times there were 56 deshas, or Hindu nations. All children were educated through Gurukul, living with the enlightened masters. But most recently, there has not been even a single Hindu nation surviving to today. Not India, not Nepal, no place. In previous centuries, India faced relentless invasions of marauding barbarians, raping and pillaging for over 1,000 years. More than 500 million Hindus brutally murdered. Most other major global traditions have nations, countries where their lives and practices are protected today. Hindus have no such place. In many countries today, it is in fact very dangerous, deadly, to be Hindu and to live a Hindu lifestyle. Even in India, many Hindu practices, teachings, teachers, rituals, traditional healing systems, and temples are legislated and discriminated against under so-called superstition bills, through media, and in so many other organized ways. Even up to the recent past, the treatment of great Hindu incarnations and modern Hindu gurus and their spreading of the great teachings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma has faced relentless slander and attacks from anti-Hindu forces. Through Jnana Sambandar, Adi Shankara, Ramanujacharya, Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda, Ramana Maharishi, Swami Yogananda, Satya Sai Baba, Srila Prabhupada, Osho, Nithyananda Swami, the Shankaracharyas, and Asram Bapu, to number just a few. In fact, every single prominent Hindu guru and organization has been illegally slandered and attacked throughout the history. Hindus live the principle of ahimsa, that is true, and it shows across the planet in the ability of Hindus to peacefully and productively lead in all populations around the world. But what are Hindus to do amidst the constant threat of physical security, violent attacks and murder, destroying their very way of life and demanding an end to Hindu existence? Is any more evidence needed? The world may not be aware, that is true, of the relentless, brutal attacks against the Hindu way of life that continues to today. But for how long will we leave it as someone else's problem, turn the other cheek, and pretend that it's safe to be a Hindu today? Pretend that the lifestyle is not under threat, that our gurus are not systematically attacked, that our very life and existence is under threat, with the only demand that we cease living as Hindus. It is the only demand. Do not live. Do not live as Hindus. Do not live at all. And then we will stop killing you. Hindus have always carried the tradition of responsibility. Every member of the community was expected to at least end their lives of society as sannyasis, serving the highest purpose of the society for all, to complete their family responsibilities and 9-to-5 careers and commit to serving the highest needs of all the members of the society, to set the example for what is most important, to set the example through their actions, which we all know speaks the loudest, to get involved in the revival of the enlightened ecosystems of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and the world's only Hindu nation. Email to contact@kailasa.org.
If you feel responsibility is a power, you make your life successful.
Yes. Now moving on to the next slide. And once again, Swami Lakshmi Varatirtha Swami, who had been attacked by the anti-Hindu militant forces, Swami Lakshmi Varatirtha of Udupi died in 2018. Hospital releases the report that he was actually poisoned, and no one was convicted against on his attack. And of course, nobody was convinced that he had committed suicide. But that is the narrative that the media mafia had tried to create. If the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had not withdrawn from Indian society, they would have done the same to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next slide, please. And again, the attacks against the Hindu sannyasis and Hindu gurus is continuing even into 2020, last year. If we see 15th of April 2020 in Maharashtra, a mob of over 100 people had killed 2 sannyasis in Palghar. On the 16th of April in 2020 in Bihar, an 80-year-old Swami Hindu was murdered in Bihar. And on the 25th of April in 2020, monks attacked in Hoshalpur ashram in Punjab. On the 27th of April in 2020, 2 more Hindu priests were brutally killed in Uttar Pradesh. On May 22nd, 2020, Hindu monks were murdered in Nanded ashram. And then 85-year-old sadhu or monk was murdered inside his monastery on the June 9th, 2020. And of course, the list goes on even after June 2020. Now, we'll be understanding why the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, despite so much of persecution, is insisting and persistently ensuring that we all revive Kailasa. Why Kailasa is the next subject of the next segment in today's program. We'll be continuing on this segment on the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and we'll be right back with you after a short break.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost. What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model community. Kailasa's enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem.
I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you.
We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
Yes, Nithyanandam, welcome back after that very short break. I request all the viewers once again to stay tuned and to ensure that you're spending a few minutes today sharing the link of the UN report that they have published on the Human Rights Commission website for the UN, where they have recognized the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please also, when you're sharing, use the hashtag UN recognizes the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, against the HDH, and also the hashtag against Hindu persecution. And during this ongoing July Hindu Persecution Awareness Month, we are, as Kailasa across the world, is ensuring that we are using this platform and also in various other platforms, how the Hindu Holocaust is ongoing and what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing to bring the Holocaust to the awareness of the international audience. So yes, let us now continue where we left off. In the previous segment, we had been reviewing, seeing the harsh details of what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone. Despite having healed millions of people, what torture and brutal, insensitive treatment the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gone through at the hands of the anti-Hindu militant terrorists. Now, let us watch this brief video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explaining to us more on the Hindu Holocaust.
This time, I am ready and I am already sacrificing my life, doing tyaga, sarva parityaga for this cause of reviving ancient Hindu enlightened civilization, Kailasa. And I beg all the Hindus outside India, Hindu diaspora all over the world, give me 2 kids from each family. It is time we start building next generation Hindus who understand the Hinduism authentically, originally, and revive, bring legitimacy to Hinduism in every field. All the Hindu diaspora, Hindus settled all over the world, it is time to wake up from the illusion and delusion. It is time to choose enlightenment pill. Stop living in delusion and illusion, not realizing it is the matrix. Wake up and choose enlightenment. I am not asking your money, I am not asking your luxuries, I am not asking your comforts. Actually, I am asking your kids. It is going to be more work for me. If I am working now 20 hours a day with more Gurukul Balasans, I will have to be working 24 hours a day, 24/7 a day. I am only asking more work and more responsibility.
We can go on to the next slide.
Poland. Swamiji, what happens when I do Salva Parityaga?
I manifest in you completely as Paramashiva and Parashakti. When I manifest, I live the very life I am radiating in Maha Kailasa in you. You became a boon, blessing for the planet Earth. You became my vehicle. You became my Vahana. You became my body. You embody me, Paramashiva. You became a great blessing for yourself and for the whole universe.
We can go on to the next slide. The next slide, please. The next slide, please. We can go on to the next slide. Yes, I invite all of the viewers, if you are understanding the amount, what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone and what he is doing for the world is absolutely, it's absolutely horrendous. The amount of treatment and the crimes against humanity that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has undergone himself and all of the men, women, and the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at the hands of the anti-Hindu militant forces. And the United Nations has finally recognized the persecution of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as a world's foremost advocate for the empowerment of women and children, how much he has done for protecting Hindu women and children, and ultimately what the anti-Hindu militant forces are doing against Hindu women and children of Kailasa, and continuously berating the denial of human rights, of basic human rights against the women, children of Kailasa. I request each and every one of the viewers to take a few minutes now and share the link for the UN report and let us ensure that the truth about the persecution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is told to the world. Yes, we can go to the previous slide. Let us now watch the beautiful sharings from different participants of the Inner Awakening programs and the Paramashivoham programs that have happened over the course of the last 2 decades, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been aiding and healing the whole world. It is such a beautiful way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously uplifting, transforming, and inspiring each individual, each human being to live a higher ambition in their lifestyle and uplift the quality of life for every human being. So let's watch a few videos on...
I came to Swamiji 4 years back. I was very sick. My liver failed. Doctors left the hope. Then Swamiji cured me. Bring down the creatinine level, and slowly within 6 months he cured me. I did not pay Swamiji 1 rupee. That kind of service Swamiji has done to me. From that day, I have become a faithful servant of Swamiji. Today, what I am hearing about Swamiji is very painful to me, because all that he is doing for the mankind, whoever it is Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, whatever it is, he is doing the entire world the good thing. Then I do not know, I don't see any reason why Swamiji should be punished like that. It is not at all humanitarian. Some humanitarian organization should take it up and fight the right of the Swamiji or Swamijis in India. Thank you.
As you can see, this man's sharing of how he has been, how his liver had entirely healed. Without having given anything to Swamiji, Swamiji had literally healed and just simply uplifted this man from what he was suffering from extremely, excruciatingly at that time. We'll now continue and watch the next video.
Nithyanandam, everybody. I'm Ma Pranava from Oman. Actually, today I'm not here to talk about myself and my experience, which I have of 7 in IAs. But today I'm here to talk about my mother-in-law, Srimati Lakshmi Devi Trignanam, and the miracles which IA has created for her. And my mother-in-law, Lakshmi Devi Trignanam, was in wheelchair for past 8 years, and this is the 9th year running. And she had a hip fracture and was not able to move freely. And when my husband Shri Priyan, that is her eldest son, told that she has to do in her awakening, she was a bit panicky. All because that she was not able to move, who will look after her? She has to visit the washroom every 15 minutes. And then when the first day, she asked Swamiji, this is her problem. And immediately he said, I am there, don't worry. Before this 21 days, I will see that you will walk. And today you can see the miracle happening. She's no more in that wheelchair. I mean, she was not able to get up herself. She needed help and not able to walk because she was scared where she will slip and fall. And today she's walking without anybody's help, only with the walker. And Swami yesterday, he said, today he will make her walk without that walker also. And we are just eagerly waiting for that miracle to happen. 2 years back, I brought my mother with the same condition. She had extreme gout problem. She was a heart patient with a block. The same miracle happened with her, and this is an experience I wanted her also, my mother-in-law also, to experience. And she is extremely happy, and she has no words, Swamiji. Actually, she had prepared to talk, but suddenly she became scared of talking. Extremely grateful and thankful, Swamiji. And I want everybody in this, especially people of Karnataka, to see this miracle happening, and everybody can experience that. And Karnataka, please open your eyes wide and look into this. And media especially has to open the eyes and look into this miracle. And nobody else can do except our incarnation, Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Nithyananda Swamiji ki Jai! Nithyananda Swamiji ki! Nithyananda Swamiji ki! Thank you, Swami.
In this video, we saw how literally after 30 years of being bedridden and complete paralysis, a woman who was able to walk just with one initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This is a power of the healing from the incarnation of Paramashiva himself. Let's go on further and hear the sharing of more participants and more disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
I had one participant running up to me just a few seconds ago. She is feeling overwhelmed with gratitude with what has just happened to her. 30 minutes ago. So I'm going to read it for her. She has written it, a miracle that she just experienced. This is Ma Nithya Premanandini from Studio City, California. She's saying that 10 years ago, I'm just going to read it verbatim, the way she has written. 10 years ago, I had an unavoidable surgery which caused me to go blind in my right eye. For all these years, I have had no more than 5% vision in that eye. During my first inner awakening in 2010, Swamiji said, I will heal you. I continue to try every therapy I could find as well as working on my spiritual path. Just about 30 minutes ago, as I'm listening to these testimonials, I am looking at the hall and wondering why everything is looking so bright. I'm seeing so many more dimensions. So I put my hand over the left eye and saw for the very first time in 10 years colors and vision through my right eye. Especially the peripheral vision, which had been completely dark, she now has a vision, her right eye is back. She is expressing her immense gratitude to Swamiji for the miracle which has just happened to her.
Once again, a beautiful sharing that is absolutely miraculous, where vision was restored to a woman. Yes, let's continue on with the next sharing.
So I got sick, and I was just burning in fever, and I just went that night for darshan, and I asked Swamiji, I'm burning. Can you please just heal me? And he put his hand on my forehead, and I had this amazing experience. And as soon as the darshan was over, we walked out, and immediately the fever just dropped from my body. Like I could actually feel my whole body getting cold again. I could open my eyes. So this was very powerful for me.
I didn't know anything about Hinduism and gurus, but I have found, that it has been incredibly helpful. So I haven't felt like it's a segregated religion and that I had to kind of, get away from who I am. But I found that it's really just helped me become strong, healthy, fit, and smart. I'm still learning a lot about it. I've also heard people saying that, Swamiji brainwashes him and be careful of all of this and that kind of thing. But I would have to say I could not disagree more with this. I know Swamiji is not taking me away from my background and culture. He is, in fact, enhancing it. He knows more about me than anyone else does. And the specific healing and process he has brought me through is only for me. So no one else could go through this, because what he's doing is he's actually lifting me up to my higher self. So I am of English descent, and he has removed the obstacles from me realizing the strength of my background and where I come from. He's doing this even though the English have not been kind to Hindus throughout history. So this is happening because he's actually just sharing the science of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which is a science for enlightenment. And so it doesn't segregate, it's not forceful, and it's not racist, it's not violent, but it's only like positive. So no matter who you are, what it will do is it will bring you to your higher self. And it will empower you for a better life, and it will also definitely bring you to your life so that you can live out your life mission effectively.
Yes, and also we had seen the health recovery results of from before inner awakening and after inner awakening, how literally more than 50%, more than even 60% of participants had seen recovery in various different aspects of their life, including if they had been suffering before from depression or anxiety, or if they had been suffering from chronic fatigue, or if they've been suffering from even arthritis in various stages, from high blood pressure, from diabetes, every single everyday ailment that we have in our normal lives, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, just through the Inner Awakening program, we had seen the results just in 121-day span of living in the presence of the incarnation of Paramashiva. Now, it was not just this, but even through so many other different programs, including, for example, Nirahara Samyama, we saw how so many different ailments, so many different health problems were just simply cured and simply disappeared after doing a Nirahara Samyama Vrata, guided personally by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. How so many different different blessings from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally broken through the patterns of suffering and pain in so many different people's lives, the lives of millions across the world. And yet, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, what he has undergone and what he has sacrificed at this time is absolutely inexplicable. How we can even comprehend a being who is so non-violent and so compassionate that he continues to keep on giving, to keep on ensuring, protecting, giving, and being the most non-violent being on planet Earth, despite having gone through so much of torture at the hands of anti-Hindu terrorists. The mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the revival of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, is for the upliftment of the quality of life for the whole humankind, and helping each individual uplift their life and seek the higher ambition in their life. As we see today, there's so many different kinds of corruption, different kind of social upheaval, different kinds of crises, and also the different deadly diseases that are rampaging the streets and killing people, literally. It's at this time the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, out of his utmost compassion, has opened the doors of Kailasa and even protected anyone who seeks protection during these extremely grave times. The amount of effort the Swamiji has been doing in just ensuring that all services are being provided through the Kailasa COVID care centers, whether it is having the full spiritual morning routine for all of the residents of Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapitam, and uplifting each one, ensuring their day, their consciousness is fulfilled, and any source of pandemic fatigue, tiredness and boredom, depression and stress is addressed on the first thing in the morning every single day, or providing a beautiful meal, vegetarian, nutritious meal 3 times a day, as well as any different kinds of supplements needed for each and every individual, as well as providing the Ayurvedic supplements needed to boost one's immunity and boost the health system. Whatever it is, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been providing, sitting, and ensuring that these services are provided for the people who need it at this time. We're seeing so many grave circumstances which have been foretold time and time again. And even through the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is guiding the whole humanity at this time. In just a few minutes, we will be having the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and having the enlightening audience of the avatar himself. Let's take a few minutes to share this link, to share the news that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be himself gracing each and every one of us for the Nithyananda Satsang, and we can sit in his presence, imbibe the powerful cognitions as he continues to give us the divine revelations on conscious sovereignty, let's take a few minutes now and share with as many people as possible about the upcoming Nithyananda Satsang. We'll be right back with you after a very quick break.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service, helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously.
Nithyanandam, welcome back after that very quick break. To all of the viewers, now it has come time for each and every one of us to get ready for the live satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. As we are just a few minutes away, let's take a few minutes now to share with as many people as possible about the live Nithyananda satsang, and you can use in all the different social media platforms and make sure that you are sharing. Let us know. Get ready for the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and be in a deep, restful space of awareness and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
கையிலையில் தரும் நித்யனின் தரிசனம் தன்னை தானறியவே இவை அசைவிடும் தீட்சை தரும் தரிசனம் மறைபொருளாயிருந்து திரை விலகி திருவடி தொகும் தரிசனம் பிறை சூடிய சடை நாதனின் திருவுரு தரிசனமே மறைபொருளாயிருந்து திரை விலகி திருவடி தொகும் தரிசனம் பிறை சூடிய சடை நாதனின் திருவுரு தரிசனமே அவள் வேண்டி வேண்டி திரளான குஞ்சமுவை தேடி வரும் அல்லவா மலை நான்கின் பொருளுடத்த நாளும் கண்டருள கையிலை உதித்ததல்லவா பொருளெல்லாம் தேடி உலகெல்லாம் போடி உடையனுள் உணர்ந்தேன் அல்லவா பொருளெல்லாம் தேடி எல்லாம் ஓடி என்னுள் உணர்ந்தேன் அல்லவா உலகை காத்தருளவே கையிலையில் தரும் என் தரிசனம் கண்ணை தான் அறியவே இவை அசைவில் தீட்சை தரும் தரிசனம் இரவும் பகலுமே உன்னிரு கண்ணில் அசையுதே நாங்கள் என்ன கோள்கள் என்ன உம்மை பற்றிட இரண்டு புவனங்களும் உம்மை சுற்றிட பொருளும் அருளும் தர மனதின் இருள் விலக பரமசிவ தரிசனம் மாயை வென்று விட ஞானம் பெற்று விட மோட்சம் தரும் தரிசனம் பல சித்த புருஷர்களின் ஞானி யோகிகளின் தவமெனின் தரிசனம் அடியும் முடியையும் ஒன்றாய் காண்பதற்கு கையிலையில் தரிசனம் சதுவேத கோஷமுடன் நாத கீதங்களின் ஒளியில் தரிசனம் சாட்சியாகும் ஐயன் தரிசனம் சொல்ல வார்த்தை ஏதும் இல்லையே சொக்கநாதன் முந்தன் தரிசனம் நித்யானந்தா 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 ஸ்ரீ அருணகிரீஸ்வர ஈசா மூத்த தமிழ் குடி மக்களின் ஈசா குமரி கண்டமானும் பரமேசா சங்க தமிழை காக்கும் கைலாசா முட்டி நிறைந்த சிவம் என்று கவர்ந்திடவே என்று கடந்து உள்ளிருந்த கல ஒளி தரிசனம் உலகை காத்தருளவே கையிலையில் தரும் நித்யன் தரிசனம் கண்ணை தான் அறியவே இவை அசைவில் தீட்சை தரும் தரிசனம் உலகை காத்தருளவே கையிலையில் தரும் நித்யன் தரிசனம் கண்ணை தான் அறியவே இவை அசைவில் தீட்சை தரும் தரிசனம்
ॐ नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् I welcome you all. with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Tanedar, Kotari, visitors, viewers, Sarvanyapita Yajamans, Kartas, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Mantreshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwara. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message from Kailasa. Listen. Physics of the conscious sovereignty is all about building body with a spiritual stamina to hold the conscious sovereignty and radiate the conscious sovereignty. Listen. I'm just filled with the Paramashiva space. The me I am experiencing in me is the cosmic me, the Paramashiva. And I also know the me you are experiencing in you right now is also part of that Paramashiva's me, cosmic me. With this deep love of oneness, you are Paramashiva, I am Paramashiva. We both put together is part of Paramashiva. He has filled me, awakened me, enlightened me, manifesting in me with that extreme joy, ecstasy I am sharing with you. Raw, naked truth as it is. As it is. Listen. With extreme love and compassion, I am sharing it as it is. Listen. Spiritual stamina means your ability to cognize Paramashiva, letting him manifest his will, his experience of himself. That is what is most important. See, whoever decides to trust my introduction about me, I feel so overwhelmingly loved by them and loving them. Listen. Love means whoever trusts your introduction of by yourself, about yourself, you simply love that person and that person simply loves you. Listen. When you trust Krishna's introduction about himself, who he is, how he is, how he feels about himself, Adityanam Aham Vishnu, how Krishna declares among the Adityas. So, he opens himself. When you feel connected, you decide to feel connected, you choose to like, love, trust what Krishna introduces about him as as himself. When you decide to trust, simply Krishna consciousness manifests in you. If you decide to trust the anti-Krishna gang, abusers, their version of Krishna, how Saguni talks about Krishna and Krishna's sexuality, how Shishubala talks about Krishna and Krishna's sexuality, how Shishubala describes Krishna and Krishna's people. Shishubala may give very valid, logical evidences for your independent investigation. He may have everything to support your independent investigation. The selfie Krishna took when he hugged his gopikas may be available for you. Whether the Shishubala and his culinary gang, the Shishubala gang is able to convince you or not able to convince you, the moment you decide to follow Shishubala's description about Krishna, you will reach the same space Shishubala is in. You will attract the same kind of people Shishubala like, and you will naturally be in Shishubala's gang and die, rot, destroy yourself. Listen. Whom you choose to trust, feel connected, you fall into that gang. Whenever you choose to decide, you decide to listen about my introduction about me, my definition about me. You enjoy the space given to me by Paramashiva. Now I am introducing me. The me in me is manifestation of cosmic me, Paramashiva Paramburul. It has realized the me in you is also part of Paramashiva. So sit sincerely with the decision, you, me, both are part of Paramashiva, and that Paramashiva is awakened in me, and now giving this satsang and Shaktipada, Shaktinipada to awaken Paramashiva in you. That's all. This is the exact, precise, truthful, honest introduction of what is happening now as me, as you, as cosmic Paramashiva. So understand, sit with this cognition, whatever I am talking will become reality in you. Whatever I am revealing will become reality in you. So first thing, physics of conscious sovereignty. Conscious sovereignty is the ultimate of life. Physics of conscious sovereignty is building a body with a spiritual stamina.
Nithyananda, oh Nithyananda, Nithyananda, oh Nithyananda. Manamuru tarunam தலைவனாய் அழைக்க மனம் ஒரு தருணம் தலைவனாய் அழைக்க கருணையில் நித்யன் கருணையில் இறங்கினார். மனம் ஒரு தருணம் தலைவனாய் அழைக்க கருணையில் நித்யன் கருணையில் இறங்கினார். அகமதன் இருளை க்ஷணமது
Listen intensely. Listen carefully, deeply. Every word now I utter can become your realization, your experience. So listen. Building a body with a conscious stamina. Actually, building a body with a spiritual stamina, conscious stamina, is very easy job. Too easy. I can give you just some 10-15 simple tips. If you start following for few days, automatically you will build a body with a conscious stamina which can manifest Paramashivatva. Because my gurus have done it for me. I know the precise methodology. Without wasting much time, I can teach you. Many instructions, tips I would have given you. Please add castor oil in your food every day, at least 1 teaspoon. See, don't add too much castor oil, then you may feel dehydrated, tired. At least 1 or 2 teaspoon per day or per meal. See, if you are taking only 1 meal a day, then go for just 1 teaspoon, not more than that. So based on the food intake, choose. These are 2 simple instructions. It's not something very difficult, complicated, very simple. Vegetarian lifestyle, what I claim, that Shaivite lifestyle, most easiest lazy man's method to build a conscious sovereignty spiritual body. Listen. Conscious sovereign space, the conscious sovereignty space, that stamina, body with that stamina. Once you start manifesting, you will feel so happy to live inside your body. I'll give you 2 simple instructions and few truths to build the physics. Listen. Physics of the conscious sovereignty is building strong physical body with a spiritual stamina that starts manifesting the right physics, everything you need for manifesting conscious stamina. I tell you, I can give you 1 or 2 examples. When you start having spiritual stamina, conscious stamina, you will carry such an amazing space. Anyone can ask anything. You will never feel irritated. You just know you are so happy they asked you. You will never feel demanded. You are so happy. The people come into your space. More and more people you enjoy in your space, more and more you are a successful being. Because you know your pure space never gets trampled by even millions of people entering into your space. The conscious stamina triggers, snowballs, initiates thousands of good things in your life. I tell you, 1 teaspoon castor oil can keep you in a pleasant mood 24 hours. Don't take my words casually. I am very serious. If you start doing it, you will understand. If you start doing it, you will understand. Within 6 months, you will understand. If you are a person constantly irritated, easily triggered, just use castor oil. You may think, what, castor oil? To remove the irritation? Yes, I am telling you. Castor oil will remove the parasites sitting inside your stomach, which triggers irritation continuously. The castor oil and parasites are anti. They don't like each other. And I tell you, I am a Dhyana Siddha by birth. By birth, master in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, because even while entering into the body, I carried my Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Within the space of Nirvikalpa Samadhi only, I even assumed this body. Even I had once a difficulty in Tiruvannamalai during the Deepam festival. The roadside, the gulfi ice, people will come and sell gulfi ice. In those days, the gulfi ice will not be available regularly in Tiruvannamalai, only during the festival times, big festival times it will be available. So, Raghupati Yogi, he always takes me from home to the temple to teach yoga and brings me back, and he will be actually holding my hand, literally, and walking, especially during these festivals, lot of crowd. Na? So he will hold my hand and walk. The gulfi ice guys, they will have a bell in their cycle, tricycle, and sell the gulfi ice. I was listening to that bell. That bell was very nice sound. I was looking at the bell and listening. Raghupati Yogi thought that I want that ice cream, that's why I am looking at that tricycle. He asked, you want to eat that gulfi ice? I neither said yes nor said no, because there was no interest in that ice cream, because I never tasted it and I don't know what it is. And I was only listening to that bell, very nice sound. I did not say yes or no, but he thought maybe I want, but I am feeling a little shy to ask him. So he told, Varakane sapla. He gave me, he bought and gave one ice, and when I ate, I really enjoyed. It was very tasty. The way I ate itself, he understood, I enjoyed, so he got one more. I enjoyed that also. Until the second one, I did not ask. The third one, I myself said, get one more. Then he started laughing. He said, more than this, I don't know whether you will catch cold, because usually the Deepam festival comes in a cold season. That December, November, December is the time Deepam festival comes. So naturally weather was also cold. So he said, I don't know whether you will catch cold. But because I asked, he could not say, he didn't want to say no, he just got. Finally I ate 5. And next day, he was making me do some process. The impact of the cold weather and the gulfi ice cream both had little kapha. So he was asking me to sit in certain position to help me do my spiritual process. Usually he will make me sit and do any rituals need to be done, like a yajna or homa, small havan or puja, and then initiate me into the pranayama or the kriya which I am supposed to do. And he did all that rituals and he started initiating me, telling me to do what I am supposed to do, but I was missing few steps, especially some of the kumbhaka, some of the pranayama. If I have to hold the breath for 60 seconds, he will just tell that I have to hold till he counts 60. I will just hold. That's all. There is no question of that 58, I will leave the breath, or 59, I'll start changing the breathing pattern. Nothing. Simply I'll obey what he says. That day at least 2 times I missed the count. He was counting 1, 2, sometimes just to test me. After number 20 or 30, he will miss and he will start. No, wait, I'll start. Then he will again start 1, 2, 3. He's an amazing, extremely loving, patient guru. I only visualize them, their love for me, their patience for me, the way they worked on me. Whenever I need to work with my kids, this is what exactly I remember. I just hold them in my inner space. That is why I keep all their photographs. And I want all the ashrams to keep all their photographs just for the amount of tyaga they have done. And he was counting, but 2-3 times I missed that pranayama count. The coherence, the number of seconds I need to hold, I missed. Before he completed the number, I released the breath. I changed the flow of the breath. He understood that kapha is inside. 5 gulfi ice cream, that kapha is inside. And he just got the karsalangani leaf, and a few leaves, and put it in his thumb and put it on my upper palate. Nicely started rubbing with his thumb. The whole pitta and kapha came out through all the 5 holes. 2 eyes, nose, mouth, and through the ears. Through the ears, it won't come like a liquid or solid. It will come like a sound, air. The whole pitta came out. Kapha came out. Then he made me sit. Not only I could perform the pranayama, I could simply see the visualization I am supposed to hold during the pranayama. I tell you, after that, throughout my life, during wandering any time, I never suffered, never took any allopathy medicine for cough or cold, kapha or pitta. Please understand. If you are Ayurvedic doctor, you will understand what I am saying. Pitta makes your mind feel the mental suffocation. Kapha makes your body feel the suffocation. Pitta binds you, chains you mentally. Kapha binds you, chains you physically. Physically means internal organs. After this one understanding, of course, even now I don't enjoy ice cream. Rarely, if the disciples want to eat, to give company, if needed, sometimes I take, but there is no liking for the ice cream or any food. That is different. But even due to weather change or any reason, never ever I suffered by pitta or kapha. I want to tell you all, so much of suffering you all go through in your life due to pitta and kapha and not even know that it is because of pitta and kapha. See, when you feel the suffocation inside your internal organs due to kapha, you scream at everyone. When you suffer the pitta, even you are not sure about your future. Please understand. See, after that many times I used to do the same. I'll make that karsalangani either as a paste or a powder or some form, just leaf or kalvathila vechi arachi. It means, kalvam is a stone, small stone, on that if you keep the leaf and put little water and make it like a paste. In some form, I'll apply it on my thumb and put it on the palate, upper palate. So the whole pitta and kapha will come out. Listen carefully. It's very important. Because the pitta and kapha is cleansed again and again, not only I never suffered the cough, cold and its impact, I always felt very stable about myself and my future decision. Listen carefully. Your pitta is responsible for making you doubt about yourself and about your future. See, many times you feel insecure. Oh, if I take sannyas, will I be happy in Kailasa? If I take up this commitment, will I be happy in my life? Not being sure about yourself, you destroy your life so much. So many wonderful things in your life is lost because you don't feel sure about yourself. Especially spiritually, consciously. I've seen so many people have this problem. Will I be happy if I take sannyas? Will I be able to be peaceful and happy if I choose to be with Swamiji? Will I be happy if I choose to be in Kailasa? All you need is just this karsalangani powder, karsalangani leaf, and every day apply on your upper palate and clean the whole pitta and kapha. Make your body samatva body, samatva sarira. I tell you, not only my Guru gave me 5 gulfi ice cream, he gave me something, the greatest, which is useful in my life till today. That is using karsalangani and taking out all the pitta and kapha and making me balanced. Listen, whenever your internal organs are strong, your breathing becomes strong. Strong breathing builds a strong internal organs, strong body. Very easily you will build strong muscles. Karsalanganni powder, taking it in your thumb, applying on the upper palate and cleaning all the kapha and pitta is such a simple act. It's not at all difficult. Karsalangani is available even in Amazon nowadays. That powder. And it's available in every village home. In India, in every village, you will see Karsalangani, Ponnangani, Murungakira. Add all this stuff in your life every day. Karsalangani, Ponnangani, Thuduvala, Murungakira. Just the simple instruction. I tell you, strong internal organs, when the kapha is cleansed, you get the stamina in your breathing, strong breathing. When pitta is cleansed, you get the strong visualization. You will not have doubt about yourself. When sometimes people tell me, Swamiji, I can't handle, I don't know how to care about how to carry on with my life. I feel like I may have a mental breakdown. This problem is because of the pitta. If you ever had the feeling, oh, I may have a mental breakdown, I cannot handle this, I'm feeling suffocated. If you had this problem, your problem is simply pitta, nothing else. Apply Karsalangani on your upper palate. Clean your pitta. You will have so much confidence about you. You will have so much confidence about you. I tell you. You may never imagine such a simple acts can solve such huge problems in your life. You don't even need to do this cleaning the pitta and kapha every day. But actually, if you start using, you may really enjoy it and you may start doing every day. If you start doing every day, great. But even if you do 3 times a day, 4 times a day, you will start feeling so much of confidence about yourself. You will be so sure of you. Yes, I can handle life. See, samatvam means at any situation of my life, I am only going to decide everything as per dharma, and same way I will live and leave the body with the same dharma. If needed, I will take another one body, continue to strengthen my dharma till I reach moksha. Over. Being sure about yourself, adapting Dharma as the strategy for life. Is the most ultimate peaceful decision you can take in your life. Once you decide, hey, come what may, I am going to decide everything, handle everything based on dharma. Over. That moment you are enlightened, you are liberated, you are free. Because after that you don't need your cunning, strategic, culinary mind. See, this extremely selfish, violent, strategic mind may brainwash you that it is very useful for you and can bring a lot of benefits to you in your life. But it takes away your peace by making you doubt about yourself and literally destroys your confidence on you. Listen, if you are a person always strategizes with extreme selfishness, cunningness, calculativeness, and believe that is the best way to exist, all the time you will have a self-doubt. Did I take the right decision early in my past? Am I taking the right decision in the present? Am I squeezing the orange called world life and getting the maximum juice and pleasure out of it for me? Am I really making the world productive for me? In this constant cunningness, you will burn yourself. And this creates so much of stress, suffocation, suffering inside you. Your whole life becomes cunning strategy, and even you are afraid whether you will be able to retain your cunning strategic existence continuously, because you will be attracting the same type of people cunning around you, and everyone around you also will know that you are a complete cunning strategist. Understand? Then you put yourself in a hell. I tell you, a simple sweet being attracts the same kind of people around him, around them, and create that kind of ecosystem, and everyone feels that person is simple, sweet, and you create a beautiful ecosystem for you to enjoy your life. I tell you, best thing you can earn by being a simple, loving, sweet being, you will attract that same kind of people around you, and people around you will experience you as a sweet being. That gives an amazing ultimate protection, completion for you forever. This is the greatest gift. Greatest gift being loving can get you is the beings who are loving. Being loving will get you beings who are loving. Being cunning will get you beings who are cunning for you. That's the worst hell. So you can create heaven or hell It depends on how you decide about you. If you decide, from now, ahimsa paramo dharmaha, dharma is the center with which I'll make all decision. No question of cunning, selfish, constantly exploiting strategies, because those strategies may get small benefits in the initial level, but will start developing deep self-doubt in you, and that feeling, you not being sure about you and how you will behave and live your life in the future. And finally, it will lead to implosion. You collapsing internally. Decide Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Krishna says, even if you practice what I am teaching a little bit, problems of mountain size will be destroyed. Even if you follow the Guru Vak little bit, tons of problems will be destroyed, which is even unknown to you. See, the best thing is when you follow the Guru Vak, simple instructions, the greater problems just disappear. They don't even show up in front of you. You may not even know how many problems you avoided, you escaped. Just this one Karsalangani, cleaning the Vada and Kapha and Pitta. How much I became sure about me. See, when the Kapha and Pitta is balanced, you don't feel suffocated mentally or physically in your internal organs. So you will always take very dharmic decisions. Not irritated, agitated, aggressive mood, you will not make decisions. All decisions you make during the I, Kapha and Pitta are dangerous to your life and to your existence. Keeping the Kapha and Pitta balanced will make you always take very sweet, beautiful decisions. Life will flow such powerful way. You know, even if you obey Guru's instruction, one small instruction, 10,000s of big problems will not even come to you. Not only you will be solving any problem comes to you, there are many problems which will never come to you. Many problem will never come to you. Any problem which comes to you, you will simply dissolve it. That is why even now I have the habit. I will not calculate my Guru Vaks to the direct benefit it brings. See, if I calculate, if I apply Karsalangani on my upper palate and remove the Vada, Pitta, the Kapha and Pitta and Kapha, I will not catch cold. I can breathe freely. If I calculate and make the logical decision, only when I have a cough, cold, I will practice and I will have the benefit. But many times simply I will follow the Guru Vak. Wherever I see the Karsalangani in my wanderings and wherever I can get, simply I will start applying. Because I just want to do what my Gurus told me. Because of my obedience to my Guru Vak, not only I never suffered with cough, cold, the kapha and pitta problems, I always had a samatva, balanced decision making, dharmic decision making, inner space, which brought tremendous strength about me, being sure about me. I tell you, when I got out of my home, when I left my home, I never had insecurity or not being sure about how I will handle my future, whatever future brings, how I will handle, never had a problem. Same way, in 40, literally after establishing kingdoms, everything I need for my life, I just walked out of everything. I had the same spirit, courage, confidence. I can rebuild. I can create what I want. I can face my life. Whatever my life brings, I can handle it. I was so sure about me. Me being sure about my ability to handle the future, whatever future may bring, that is what I call my Shraddha towards my Guru Parampara. Hey, I will obey my Guru Vak. Come what may, I have the confidence to face it. That's all was my inner space. When I stepped out of Adi Kailash campus, people who were with me, they are the witness. I made the statement, it is time to make Hindu Samrajya, Hindu nation. I just know whatever life brings, I can handle it. With the grace of my Guru Parampara, Paramashiva, I made it. Actually, they made it. Their grace, their blessings, their energy. They made the Kailasa. They manifested it now. Listen. You being sure about you, to live the Guru Vak, is the greatest spiritual stamina. I am repeating. You being sure about you, to live the Guru Vak, is the spiritual stamina. Castor oil, applying Karsalangani every day with your thumb on the upper palate and cleaning the pitta and kapha. All these simple acts will bring spiritual stamina in your life. You will be sure about following the Guru walk, the highest vision for you, you will be so sure about it. You will have so much of spiritual stamina, confidence. Simply you will manifest Paramashiva in you. The biggest negativity in your life is your fear. Will I be able to handle myself if I just follow my Guru walk? If I just go with my Guru's words, will I be able to handle what life brings it to me? Will I have the stamina to handle? Will I have a mental breakdown? Will I collapse? Hey, how can you die by drinking nectar? Many times people tell me, if I meditate, if I do unclutching, will I have mental breakdown? Will I die? There is no document, record ever in the whole world. Anybody having a mental breakdown through unclutching or death by meditating. By not meditating, there were millions having mental breakdown, had and having. By not unclutching, there are millions who die very cheap death. Even in death, there should be dignified death. I am seeing now in this pralaya, in this corona, people are so suffocated to keep themselves inside a room or a house. They feel it's okay, I just want a fresh air. I cannot handle this anymore. Let me go out for a walk. Just for fresh air, they go out and leave the breath itself. For fresh breath, they go out. Get corona, get fresh body itself, not just fresh breath. I am seeing, understand? Now the next level variants of corona. Corona plus, Delta plus and Lambda corona. All these are not only highly infectious, high death rate. Even though people know all this information, just the imaginary suffocation, unable to mentally handle the pitta and kapha. Pitta is responsible for mental suffocation. Unable to handle the pitta, they go out and get the real problem called corona. See, pitta is only an imaginary problem. Your mental suffocation is just imaginary problem. But corona is the real physical problem. Listen. Not having the conscious stamina, spiritual stamina, not having the spiritual stamina can even kill you. All these people, due to suffocation, mental suffocation, go out and get corona and die, are all dying just because they were not taught the science of unclutching and meditation. If they had the fortune of getting the unclutching and meditation in their life, they will know how to handle their mental suffocation. unclutching is as simple as applying the Karsalanganni powder on your upper palate and cleaning the pitta and kapha. Many people are asking the name of the Karsalanganni, other names of Karsalanganni. I know only these two names, Karsalanganni and Bringaraj. I don't know the English technical name. Maybe you guys can Google Karsalanganni and Bringaraj. These two are the names I know of the leaf I am talking about, the herb I am talking about. So now listen. Just not able to handle your suffocation. Inner space. You getting the real problem, like real corona, criminal negligence becoming crime itself. See, you not able to handle your suffocation, your pitta, all this is criminal negligence. Finally, it becomes crime itself when you get the corona. So I want to give one more information. The Karsalanganni is also called false daisy. False daisy is an English word used for Karsalanganni, Bringaraj. Actually, it should be named as a true daisy. I don't know why they named it as a false daisy. Anyhow, that is the word in use. Okay. Listen. Let me give you basic few revelations to achieve spiritual stamina. Your body with a spiritual stamina is the fundamental requirement for manifesting conscious sovereignty, Paramashivatva. And it is not difficult, too simple. As I said, just applying Karsalanganni and cleaning the pitta and kapha has made me feel so secure about me, sure about me, and my ability to handle come what may. See, my ability to handle come what may is my Shraddha to my Guru Parampara, to my Paramashiva, Arunagiri Yogishwara. You can see how they initiated the virtuous circle in me. I simply obey their words, and that brings so much of benefits. So that makes me so sure about my future. And that is what is the trust on my Guru Parampara. So the love feeds trust, trust feeds love, love feeds more trust feeds more love. That just becomes such powerful virtuous circle and becomes enlightenment, oneness, Paramadvaita. That's all. That's all. I think getting into that virtuous circle is what is the conscious stamina, spiritual stamina. Listen carefully. I never strategized and obeyed my Guru's words. Simply my Guru walk, I'll do it. Over. Even now I am seeing many people are trying to say, oh, Corona is settled, it is not that bad. Be very clear, it is not settled. Now all these people moving around freely in the market. The other day I saw in the media, the news, so much crowd in that Chennai shopping street, Ranganathan street or the T Nagar. Like a festival, Utsava, Deepavali. Oh God. Dress is so important than life. Or are they buying dresses to dress up when they are dead? I don't know. I don't know why the dress and jewels are so important than life itself. I could not understand. See, people going to food to get groceries, at least that I can tolerate. Because without food they will die. They can't be without food. But people going for clothes, jewels, other things, I just don't know what to say. And I am telling you, the social setup of India is going to terribly fail Indians in this Corona time. When I say India, it's not just the India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, that same mental setup countries, Malaysia, Nepal, everywhere, this collective integrity missing. See, they don't care about others dying by they spreading the corona. They don't care about the mask. They don't care about people. Sometimes when people get corona, they get so vengeful. They go and spread also without telling. Please listen. Listen carefully. With Paramashiva's grace, directly Paramashiva himself manifesting with so much effort. I saved Jyotika. She is alive. She is not dead. She is saved. But still she has not recovered completely. She has not recovered completely. Still I am not able, I am working. Still she has not become completely healthy. I am not able to make her travel from Chennai to Bangalore because the oxygen level goes ups and downs. She is alive. She is corona negative, means corona free. But still she has not recovered, become healthy. And once she becomes healthy, I have to work and detox her body to start manifesting powers. That is another huge task. Because corona does large
large damage to the internal organs. Even if they don't die, the damage done to the internal organs and for their physical activism and mentally being alive, those capabilities damaged is extreme. It takes such huge effort to recover them and retrieve them and completely bring them back to normal. Literally like a conscious blanket, I surrounded her. Of course, few more of my disciples who got corona, literally I was sitting in samadhi and surrounding them as conscious blanket, protecting them, recovering, healing them. It's like a literally conscious ventilator, the spiritual super ventilator protection. Even with that, I could only save them. They are alive, but yet to recover completely. Understand the corona and its impact. Don't take it light. And especially in India, people freely moving around does not mean corona is over. Actually, the people freely moving around, they are inviting the third wave corona quickly. And the worst thing with the third wave corona is it is going to be the Delta plus and Lambda. The worst viruses. The viruses. What to say that? Its own updated version. I don't want to make further statements about corona. I only want all my disciples who obey me, just stay home, stay safe, have multi-layer quarantine in your home. If you cannot, go to Adi Kailash and save yourself before it becomes too late. Especially countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Malaysia. Now I heard the good news, even the Malaysians can travel to India. If you want to save yourself, simply go to Adi Kailash, where you are given multi-layer quarantine. Be there. Safeguard yourself before it becomes too late. Multi-layer quarantine is too important. Let me reveal more and more sacred secrets to build conscious stamina. Have haritaki, tudubale, murunga leaf in your food regularly. Just the simple 10-20 instruction. I can put it elaborately and share it with you all. Whatever I share today, start doing Vakyartha Sadas. The speed with which people are coming out and moving around, India or Malaysia or Nepal or Bangladesh or Pakistan, everywhere, I can see very clearly they are inviting the third wave, which I don't want to talk much about it. I can only say that they are bringing worst thing on themselves. Because the collective integrity is not there. People don't care about what will happen to the whole society. See, people think, oh, what is there if few people get corona and they go to hospital, and it is not that easy, that simple. When the medical infrastructure is broken, failing by overload, so many other things are broken, failing due to overload. Social infrastructure, administration infrastructure, judicial everything gets overloaded. And the anarchy and chaos, where unjustified number of deaths and losses, and no value for life. No value for life. Don't listen to anybody's opinion about corona. Just protect yourself with multi-layer quarantine. That's all. Just protect yourself with multi-layer quarantine. Neither get constipated by conspiracy theories, nor get cheated by this positive idea Bhagwas. Just have multi-layer quarantine and protect yourself before it is too late. Especially people in the Asian countries. In US, the society structure itself is a quarantine structure. Nobody comes to your home that without invitation or freely, easily. In India, anyone will walk into any house. That is the way social structure is. I still remember, if the home main door is locked, people will ask, hey, why are you keeping the home House door locked in the daytime. In the daytime, you are not supposed to keep the house main door locked. So if you have any relatives, friends, especially all my disciples all over the world, my Adinavasis, my Gurukul kids, my Sannyasis, my Brahmacharis, my Brahmacharinis, all of you listen. I am talking to you directly. If you have your family, if you have your friends, if you have any important people you need to protect, either get them out of Asian countries, India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Nepal, Pakistan, all that, Indonesia, that area, Malaysian countries, get them out. Or get them to Adi Kailash, where they can have multi-layer quarantine. Do one in these two. Prevention is the best way to protect yourself from corona. Because the third wave may be the worst wave. The death rate is too high. Delta plus and lambda corona, these are too high death rate. Infection rate, the way they spread, before even you realize or go to hospital, the person is killed. The person is dead. Before even you realize you have corona, you are dead. Before even you are taken to hospital due to any symptom or complication, you are dead. That's the way it is going. So, the social structure of India is going to fail Indians during this pandemic. This freely moving around, freely touching, freely going anywhere, anyone, and going to shops, luxury shops, going for shopping. I don't know. When I saw the crowd in Ranganathan Street in Tinagar, I was shocked. In that crowd, corona may get killed. That level of crowd. Abba, that's all I have to say. Multi-layer quarantine in your home is not possible. If it is really possible, it is possible only in Adi Kailash. So go there and save yourself. Is all I can say for now. And if you are already in Adi Kailash, celebrate. You are directly protected by Paramashiva. You are in his space. Enjoy the safety and security given by Paramashiva directly. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, collective integrity and enriching causing, living Paramadvaitam, the Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षि सुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वती स्तन्यपानलब्ध दिव्यज्ञान विश्रुत सकल निगमागमसारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्रीचिह्न काहलादि समस्त बिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमत कलभ केसरी शैव सिद्धान्त स्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराज पाण्ड्य महाराज गुरु क्षपण शाक्यादि महान्धकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार्ह ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्त्रे सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम् अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तः साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरो श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञानवितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।
With the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattvanasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive.
Beautifully, Bhagavan said that power manifestation is becoming alive, conscious, the conscious sovereignty that becomes a reality. And here Bhagavan is beautifully saying this is a science of power manifestation, because it is repeatable and each one of us can experience the conscious breakthrough from what we understand as a body and mind and to the superconscious space where Bhagavan says the new species starts manifesting in us as reality. Bhagavan beautifully has given the pramanas, the evidences for the science of power manifestation. The scriptural evidences, Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and Agamas. Apta Pramana. The Apta Pramana that we'll see is from the experience and results of the Aptas. Understanding these Aptas gives us such a breakthrough how they have experienced the superconscious breakthrough under their gurus. And they are the authority of Hinduism. Atma Pramana, knowing Bhagavan's very own Leelas, like the Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatars, personal experience of each power manifestation. When Bhagavan narrates his life incident, from learning from his life incidents is the ultimate space where he, behaving like a human and eating 5 kulfi ice cream and having a breakthrough of the ultimate gift from his guru and simple integrity and simple obedience, he has manifested beyond the vata and kapha, the pitta, in his life. The Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of disciple devotees, followers all around the world, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan has initiated all of them. Whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, be very clear, you are the blessed one. Bhagavan has always said, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, I myself will manifest the reality, removing all their incompletion, the blocks that we are in, and simply liberating them from so many karmas and so many janmas of holding that back. And each manifestation of powers will give them a superconscious breakthrough. That is why the Balasans every single day manifest powers and even demonstrate. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. It is possible for each one of us to experience the no thought zone. And scientifically also they have proven 3 to 4 minutes we can experience. And because we are initiated during that space of oneness with Paramashiva, we manifest as powers, but when we prolong it to 21 seconds, Bhagavan says beautifully we can experience the enlightened space itself as living as superconscious being. This is a possibility that Bhagavan is opening up for all of us to experience. Let's go to the Shastra. Sorry for the technical glitch, just a minute. Yes, let's go to the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural references for the power of will. This is from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.13. Icha Shaktir Uma Kumari. Bhagavan Paramashiva says his will is the energy of Shiva and it is called Uma, an independent power of Paramashiva. It is called Kumari, the cosmic energy that plays. Bhagavan has beautifully said how the spiritual stamina, how you are connected to Paramashiva as the ultimate goal and the only goal, holding that as your ultimate space, simply will manifest all the auspiciousness and all the abundance, even though the current reality does not look as per what we perceive. Bhagavan, holding Bhagavan's words as Guruvak, as our reality, simply removes all the karma that we need to go through and bring us to the beautiful space of oneness. Beautifully, how Hanuman, he was asking Sita, what is that she puts as a tilak? And Sita replied that it is for the good of the Rama, I put it. And simply he applied all over his body. Not just simple integrity, but going beyond. It's like taking the whole herbs and not only rubbing your on the top of your palate, but all your body. That is the extreme how Hanuman lived. He rubbed the whole body. That is why even today in all the Hanuman temple, they literally put him in orange because the love that he shows is that he puts all the orange so that Rama lives so happily and so beautifully. Not only that, when Sita was sitting there in Ravana's garden and waiting for some breakthrough, she suddenly sees somebody narrating the story of Rama and she feels like she's hallucinating or what is happening. And Hanuman out there on the tree, the monkey, and he was like, which language will Sita know? And how do I make her first in the completion? Because Ravana just came and like terrorized her and said, I will eat you for breakfast if you don't come back with the right clarity to live with me. And he just went, and so she's terrorized. So Hanuman sings, but he was like, which language should I speak in that Sita will understand? And finally he sings the Rama avatar's whole Leela, and she's looking for somebody and she sees a beautiful orange like a sunset, so brilliant and so vibrant. and she knew something has come to take her back. And she says the beautiful orange, what we describe for Paramashiva, the sunset, the auspiciousness that really radiates when we see Bhagwan. That was the color. That is why one more reason why Hanuman is painted into the orange space. Hanuman is so compassionate and so much in pure space of only Rama. Whatever happens, he has no idea who is Sita. He goes to first to Mandodari and thinks that is Sita, but when he goes close, he does not feel the grace that Bhagavan is saying. You will simply know the people around you. When you are in oneness, you will attract that very core kind of people, and more such people will make you more and more into that beautiful space. Bhagavan beautifully says, when he went to Mandodari, he could not feel it. And Narada beautifully says, when he kept the veena on a rock, and when Hanuman used to have such a beautiful voice, and when he sings on Ramanama, the rock melted and caught the veena inside the rock. And such was the instant. He says, even Hanuman speaks, and you speak to Hanuman, you will get healed from any dangerous disease. He was so compassionate that he held only Rama in every cell of his, that he just merged into Rama. That is the stamina, spiritual stamina, power of will. That is why he was able to manifest any power just a blink of an eye. The power that he had is only Rama in his inner space, and only Ramanama has his words. That was the power of Ichha Shakti that he experienced and expressed as reality. Here, beautiful story of Apta Pramana. Rarely we get a women's story. Here, Karaikal Ammayar. How beautiful she was able to, this is for the Pramana, evidences in the scriptures. How Karaikal Ammayar just made herself old. Everybody, every woman especially, want to look younger all through their life. Yes, Sadashiva says we are always sweet 16, but all women think all the time that way. But here, Karaikal Ammayar, Avayar, all of them made themselves into an old age so that they can serve the humanity. And only for contribution, they just took off their youth, the look of the youth from them, just to sacrifice Tyaga. How the beautiful space there would be to do a Tyaga, women doing a Tyaga. We know the stories of how women go through all the kind of torturous to look beautiful. Here, it's the other way around. To look graceful, she just dropped her youth and became the divine graceful space that even today we remember about Karaikal beauty. Not just in terms of